Happy Monday. What's up, Becky? What's up, Matt? How you guys doing today?
Good morning. Happy mid-July, everyone. I'm excited for another trading week. Welcome back, everyone.
It's funny. You can say good morning. It's like middle to end of my day almost. So you guys always freak me out with your West Coast
We're on
time.
we're on the left coast. We don't appreciate your time frames there, Justin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're so guys, we're gonna give people some time to get in. We're just gonna do talk charts for a second, and then we'll get the podcast started. Let's see if we can get a little more people. But I heard you guys talking about some levels on ES. You wanna talk about what you were saying earlier?
Yeah, I'll take that first. There's a couple things I'm looking at right now. On the ES specifically, the 75.70 level, and I know we're underneath that level. It kind of goes to 75.64, but the 75.70 level is a really important level. It's been tested multiple times in the past, and you kind of got a little bit of a short-term reversal / continuation pattern right now going on at that level. And so kind of interested to see how this develops. Every edge is kind of still pressing to the downside. Like you have horizontal support, but the resistance levels are still angling to the down. So if you're a bull, you certainly want to see a little bit more. I actually think the best pattern currently that I'm tracking is not in the index. It's actually gold. Gold is at an extremely important level right now. It's at that 4K level. And 4K is like the massively important zone for gold at 4K. And so when you're looking at the hourly chart, everything's pressing down, 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 down. When you come into a 5-minute chart, you're seeing slowing momentum in trend, a double bottom, and let's see if it can work back up. Now, I want to do anything too aggressive underneath 40.10. Like I am patiently waiting on gold to get back up into that 40.10 level where the double top is right there. And so like too oftentimes I find day traders try to like get the low point when I'm like, nah, Jesse Livermore, wait for confirmation. If this reversal is real, we're going to get that 410 level. And so I'm actually looking at that 409, 410 level on gold here for a potential reversal. So I'm very interested to see if that reversal plays out here on gold.
Man, catching the bottom, it was so fun as a newer trader, but like I don't want anything to do with that now.
You just lose and lose and lose and lose. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're like, that's what happens when you go against the trend. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happens when you go against the trend. And so what I'm saying is don't try to pick up the low here. Wait till it breaks that 40.10 level to get a nice little short-term pump back up.
But when I do catch the bottom, I'm posted on social media.
Oh yeah, that's the video, Justin.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you see this P&L, guys? Look at me.
Look how I bottom tick this market. Join my Discord. I do it every day.
I won't show you the other 9 attempts I tried to tick the low, but let me show you the one that I was successful in ticking the low. Yeah,
Becky, are you trading today, Becky?
I traded this morning and I got chopped up in the morning trade, and then I moved along and I just side-eyed it and I was like, what is happening? And so it was a Monday fun day for me. But I think the point of it is that we're at very, very key, interesting levels. And I think that's why we're experiencing this chop, is that the ES is really dancing. Like this morning, all of that chop was the 7,600 level was trying to hold, and it just gave a bunch of fake outs for the longs, and then it didn't. And then, gold we talked about is at that very key level of 4K. And then ENQ is similarly is dancing around 30K. And it's just these levels are so massive and there's so much indecision around them that it's just a recipe for this dangerous kind of situation that is going on right now on all three indices, I feel like. And so
add the Russell 2000 there, Becky, at 3K. It's like every index has a significant whole number that there's choppiness around. And it's almost like that's what happens in front of earnings season.
Who would have thought? Yeah,
that's almost like textbook analysis coming into the kickstart of a very, very, very
important
catalyst-filled week. Let's say.
I think that's a great reason. I hope everyone tunes into this podcast today, because I think that the key levels that we're at and the fact that there is so much happening in the very, very near future, like there's a lot of things we need to organize in our minds coming into the next opportunity phase.
Yep. All right. I think I'm ready to get going. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Okay. All right, Nick, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. You wanna count me down? And we'll get this thing going. If If you guys have any questions or any topics you want to hear us debate about or agree with each other about, hit us up in the chat. We can always pivot. Yep, let's do it. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Justin here with BluSky. Welcome to another edition of Market SkyCast, the official podcast of BluSky Trading. As always, I am here with my fellow coaches, Coach Matt and Coach Becky. Becky, how you doing today? Everything good?
I am great, thank you. Welcome to another week. It's mid-July, so I can't be mad about summer. It's a wonderful season, and I'm excited about this week.
Love it. Matt, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, Justin. Thank you for asking. I'm excited for this week as well. Last week bored me to death. I think this is going to be the opposite of that.
Yeah, I think last week bored everybody to death. Every streamer I talked to, everybody trader, they weren't having fun. I was in and out. But before we get into it, couple announcements. We do have new orbit plans at BluSky. If you're frustrated and you don't want to go through evaluation and take days and days to pass, this is for you. Calling all degenerates, 1 day to pass. BluSky orbit plans, check them out. Join one of our streams. We'll talk about it. I'm actually trading one live from purchase to funded. So come watch me blow it. Come watch me get a payout. Either way, we'll have some fun. But guys, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed last week's episode where we got less into the technicals and more into actually trader talk, talking shop, trader psychology, common questions, common things that most traders go through. So guys, we decided we're going to pivot that way. And as time allows, we can get into any technicals at the end of the episode. So let's just get right into it. This topic, I think, is perfect for kind of the way the market's been in the last few months. And let's start with you, Becky. How much should market conditions change the way you trade?
I definitely think they need to be a factor. I think that should be a question that you ask yourself when you're setting up for your trading session and when you're considering what you want to trade and how you want to trade it, because there are times when we are waiting on catalysts and they are range bound and we are just kind of bouncing off of closer support and resistances. And in those situations, those are not days to hold long term or to try and diamond hand something because the conditions are often tight and you can be in a winning trade and it can turn to a loser so fast. And so there are certain circumstances where you want to be more of a scalper or just abstain, or really make sure you're in a key level and you really like the trade and you're watching your back end when it's bouncy like that versus in a nice trending condition. And then also I think, if there is a time where we have seen quite a bit of volatility, such as when the war was fresh, which was quite a while ago now, or with the tariff.
Which time?
I know, right? But certain times there is a lot more little things hitting us where we're getting those big like tweets and pops and whatever that are causing chaos. And so in that situation, you want to make sure you're also managing your size and like watching and making sure you have risk parameters in place that keep you safe. So I do think that it's important to factor in, and it does change both how you manage your risk, how you manage your entries, but then also your size that you trade as well.
Okay, well, I got a question for you. How long did it take you to realize you needed to actually change your trading style based on the conditions? And how often do you actually do it? Do you look every day and say, okay, I'm using style 1 today, this day, I'm using style 2? Or kind of how does your brain process when you're going to change?
I think enough losses have slapped me in the face enough times where I realized, I should really factor these things in. And so it's actively evolving, honestly, for me as a trader, where I am still like kind of thinking about it. But I do have my morning hypothesis when I set up my trading day and I figure out what I might want to approach coming into that. I always look at Forex calendar and I always consider if there's anything going on later in the week or if there's anything going on at that day that's coming up in my trading session that I need to factor in. And then I do think about the geopolitical. So I actually factor it in every single day now. And I will just weigh them differently. Like obviously on FOMC, that's different. On CPI tomorrow, that's different. On a day where there's a major earning in the indice that I trade, that is something that I will factor in. And that's something that is part of my system to look at every single day ahead of time. And so I have grown into considering it every day, actually. Yeah.
So very dynamic. I absolutely love that. And now, Coach Matt, you've seen a ton of markets. You do earnings, you do economic data. I'm sure you have different playbooks for every scenario, but how often, let's stay specific on more of the intraday trading. How does your brain kind of work with that?
Well, as a top-down analyst, you have to adjust with the market, number one. If you're not adjusting with the market, you're saying you're better than the market, and nobody ever has been better than the market. You have to accept that. For example, market's been consolidating range bound for the better part of a month, whereas the previous month we were dealing with nothing but upward movements in price. And when you're dealing with more choppy neutrality on the daily chart as a day trader, you want to be more level to level analysis, because you're not going to be able to catch sustainable trends versus, after last earnings season, when we were dealing with that rip roaring bullish condition on the daily chart. You want to open it up a little bit more, and you want to give your stop loss a little bit more room, and you want to trail your stop loss a little bit looser. And so what is happening on the daily and the weekly timeframes will change how I approach the intraday side. But yeah, Justin, I mean, it goes without saying that if you're not adjusting to the market condition, you're doing it wrong. There's going to be really good directional environments. There's going to be really good theta environments. There's going to be better swing trading environments than day trading environments. And I felt from the very, very beginning, it's our job to understand what the environment is in the general market so that we can adjust our systems to match that general market condition. And in times of volatility, I do have a specific playbook called the volatility playbook that I will go to trade in times of volatility conditions. And one of those is this week with all the catalysts this week. I am in a little bit of volatility playbook until we get the breakout. So for example, today, I'm not doing much of anything today, not on the day trade side, not on the swing trade side, not on the position. I'm not adding to investments. I'm not doing hardly anything today, because why would I? The catalysts come tomorrow morning. The catalysts come with the kickstart to bank earnings tomorrow. The catalysts come with the CPI report tomorrow. The catalysts come with Warsh on Wednesday. The catalysts come on ASML's earnings report for the growth areas of the market on Wednesday. And the actual kicker of everything comes on Thursday morning with the Taiwan Semiconductors report. So if you're not taking into account environments, I kind of feel like you're just going to beat your head against the wall, and that would be a little bit of a safer thing than not taking into account what is the environment we're dealing with on the S&P. I'm actually really jealous oftentimes of traders who can just discount all that other noise and just laser focus on the intraday technical condition. But I made a comment last night in a stream, Justin, that I did not anticipate trading anything today. Because is the market really going to break out of its ascending triangle on the daily chart, its high base on the weekly chart, and a coiled up intraday situation in front of the kickstart of all the catalysts? The most likely scenario we were going to deal with chop. Everybody that was aware of what was happening over the weekend knew we were going to deal with dollar up, commodities down, and a hesitation analysis coming into Monday. And if you were not taking that into account and you just woke up on Monday morning and been like, let's go rip roar and have some fun, the market most likely chopped you up and spit you out.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's a great answer. Some weeks you can press the gas, some days you can press the gas. Others, you got to know when to just chill. And today, especially being a Monday in front of a front-loaded week, it's a day to chill for me. Now,
that's me too.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you guys more. The way I do it is I do a top-down analysis just like you do, Matt. And I'm just going to take the last 2 weeks as an example. Looking at this daily chart, there's no continuation, there's no breakouts. So for me, I have to adjust my trading style as I'm going for more of a scalper's mindset or a level to level kind of play, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
I'm not shooting for home runs. Now, if we do break these key levels, yes, I will be shooting for the home runs, and I'll be looking to run to the next area of support or resistance. But I think you'd be crazy in this day and age not to adjust, to just go with the same exact style every single day. Because some days you're going to, let's talk from NQ, for example. Some days you're looking for 600-point moves. Today, I'm looking for 150 points of chop back and forth, and I'm not going to hold anything for more than, I don't know, 5 minutes at most. Or if
minutes.
Yeah, my playbook today was not even to open a chart until like 10:30. And then it was still terrible. So my playbook was let's not do anything today. That's also, I think you can change your trading style as just not trading is a way of trading.
Well, and to go on that, Justin, let's say over the next 2 days, okay? Because you said 2 weeks, but you pulled up the NQ, which is generally underperforming the rest of the market right now. And so if you're talking about the NQ breaking back up above that daily high from yesterday, for example, you're most likely technically saying, all right, we're going to get back up into that overhead resistance around 31,000, right? But if you go to the ES and you do the same thing on the ES, you're talking about the beginning point of a new leg to the top side.
Yep.
And so the ES is in what's called a multiple time frame breakout situation, where you have an ascending triangle on the daily chart, a high base on the weekly time frame, a fractal pattern on the monthly time frame, and every single time frame aligns with the exact same analysis, which means you should be hesitant right now underneath that breakout channel. But if we do break out, the only way we're breaking out is with the positive catalyst. The market's been neutral for the month. It's had catalysts. Now we get even more important ones. And so let's say we break out. Well, at that point, the daily chart is starting a new bullish uptrend. The weekly chart showing continuation bullish uptrend. The monthly chart is outside of its fractal pattern on the monthly chart. And at that point, Justin, I'm much more willing to try to carry a trend as a day trader. With the longer time frame supporting that analysis. Right now, the longer time frame suggests hesitation at resistance, consolidation in general, and we need to see that break. So as long as we're going up and down in neutrality on the daily and the weekly time frames, you should be a little bit more what we call level to level analysis, or more of the scalper's mentality, where you're not trying to capture anything from a trending perspective. But if A, we break out on B, a catalyst, whether it's an alleviation of the inflationary condition with the CPI report, or an adjustment on monetary policy with Warsh on Wednesday, or the banks just absolutely come out and say, we're doing absolutely fantastic, clear skies ahead. Well, at that point, we should adjust. Absolutely. Because it's not us that drive price action in the market. If everybody here that is watching this and all of us participate and decide, you know what, let's go buy Apple right now. All of us collectively put all of our money in Apple. Apple's not going to move.
It's not going to do anything.
It's not going to do a thing. It's not going to tick. It's too big. It's a $4.5 trillion behemoth. It takes big time catalysts to get those things moving. And once those things move, at that point, then we have to adjust to it. And so as long as those longer term timeframes are neutral, you should be a little bit more level to level analysis on the intraday side of the equation. When the longer term trends start to adjust and start to trend again, I just think you're capping your gains if you're just level to level. You should try to be a little bit more loose and open it up and try to capture a little bit more of trending analysis. And so right now it is level to level. Breakouts turn it a little bit. And so yeah, to go back to the original question, Justin, does environment matter? It matters absolutely everything to me as a top-down analyst. Everything.
Yeah, and Becky, we just had a great discussion about how we kind of had to change our trading style recently. Do you kind of want to talk about it? Kind of dealt with like daily ranges and ATRs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I totally think that daily range and ATR is an important factor, because you want to know where you're at in the chart. You got to know like what your instrument that you're trading tends to do on the average and what it's been doing most recently, and then how you can adjust your management. If we're still trading super tight, then it could be that a breakout is still coming. And if we've already had a massive range for the day, trying to trade continuation after that range has really expanded is very dangerous. And so I do think that factoring in what your instrument does, which you learn from back testing, forward testing, paying attention to things like that, and then what you can expect for it. I think that has so much potential to improve your trading, because it helps trim out the risky trades. By continuing to trade a small chop, if you know that there's room for expansion, you want to wait and see what breaks versus catching the top or bottom after a really overextended move, also risky. And so, yeah, that was a great conversation with Justin, and that you guys can check out. But I do think that it's just something the more you understand your instrument, the more you understand how it moves and how it tends to react at certain levels, and then how to anticipate those and see those in real time. Such as when Matt was talking about gold, like we're not suggesting you catch the knife, but know where you're at in the chart. You know how this instrument moves, know that we're waiting for support based on these monthly levels as well. What would a candle pattern look like? And recognize we're not trying to just chase the shorts endlessly. We're curious to see what will happen at a key level based on how we understand our market to be moving and what level it's at. So I think it's a great lesson.
I like how you said get to know your instrument, because now I've been dating NQ for 6 years now, and I feel like every morning it's just a dance. And what kind of dance are you going to do? I know when she's going to be violent. I know when she's going to be calm. I know when I can size up. I know when I can size down. Hey. So that's great. That's a great point where you said once you get to know the instrument well, it gets a lot easier. And I really, really agree with that.
I love how you talked about how you dance with her, because I talk about the market like that too. Like, I think there's two ways to come to the market as a side, but I think you can fight with the market and you can like get ready for blows and see it as your adversary and be aggressive with it. Or you could consider it a dance and you can wait for like to see her moves and then follow the moves and try and get in flow and not fight the momentum of it. And so I think that those are two very different approaches that traders will take. And most people start with fighting with the market because they think it's adversarial and they're afraid. But if you open up and kind of expand to the possibilities, it's more of a dance. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, it is, and I love that. So that was a great discussion. Let's move on to the next topic. This one, we're all going to have the same answer. I already know this. I just want to have a great discussion on it. How much did yesterday's trading affect what you do today? Matt, let's start with you. I can already see your face saying this is a dumb question. Why even talk about it?
It's not a dumb question. It's not a dumb question at all, but I might provide a dumb answer, Justin. But it's definitely not a dumb question. Very little. I would say, like, I don't think you should overreact to any one session. I think we need to have a little bit more thick skin and we need to be able to take an L and rinse it off and go do it again. If you're applying your systems the way the way you understand, one day to the next, like it's another day. It's every day is a fresh day as a day trader. I think that's one of the biggest benefits as a day trader, because as a swing trader, as a position trader, as a cash flow investor, as a investor in general, you can't wipe off yesterday. Like yesterday impacts you today. Everything is data coming into the same river flowing downhill. Everything is important. But to the day trader, every day is unique. And that's, I think, one of the biggest drawing points of being a day trader is yesterday doesn't matter. That today is a fresh day. It's kind of like VWAP, whereas it resets every day. Every day's fresh. Today's choppy. Tomorrow might be a great trend. The daily chart doesn't go from choppy today to a great trend tomorrow. The weekly chart doesn't go from a terrible weekly condition today to a great condition tomorrow, except day trading. Every day is a unique day. Every day is a unique opportunity. Every day has unique data to propel the market from being a bull, being a bear, being cautious. Like, for example, today, I expected a lot of chop today. I didn't want to do a lot of trading today. And so today I haven't done a whole lot. I've kind of stared at price. I've been around the market. I'm always curious in things. I don't want to shut down, opportunity when opportunity manifests itself. And I'm definitely interested in this brewing reversal on gold on the intraday side of the equation, but I'm not hunting aggressively today. I kind of got my feet kicked up, letting price dictate what I need to do. So tomorrow, I kind of feel like we're going to deal with a little bit more price movement tomorrow. By the way, I expect tomorrow morning to be choppy. I expect as we get throughout the trading session to get a little bit better. Same thing on Wednesday. I expect a little bit more chop in the NASDAQ tomorrow, because not tomorrow, but on Wednesday, because you have AI names reporting on Wednesday. But the beautiful thing about day trading is the fact that each day is a unique day. Every day resets. And so the Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan reports earnings tomorrow. And Jamie Dimon is most likely going to do what he does best as he's talking about how much money his company made. He's going to be like, yeah, JP Morgan's fantastic. We can't wait to acquire all the other failed banks that the Fed allows us to buy up for $0. And while that's happening, Jamie Dimon will be talking about all these dark clouds on the horizon. Well, what about the Straits of Hormuz? And what about the Iranian conflict? How long is that going to transpire? How big of an impact is that going to have on EPS projections? How much is oil going to cap earnings potential coming out of the U.S. growth markets? How long are we going to see a scenario where international markets produce a higher growth rate than U.S. markets? Like, these are all very important questions that impact price a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, a month from now, a year from now. Day traders don't care about any of that data.
Nope.
Everything repeats. Tomorrow, I care about the CPI report as a day trader. The next day, I'm going to care about the PPI report as a day trader. But I won't care about them on following that session. I won't care about that in any capacity. And so one of the biggest benefits of day trading is every day is unique. Every day is a new start. It's a new challenge. And so it's one of the reasons why I love it. But yeah, and so how much does yesterday's performance play a role in me today? Very little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I totally expected that answer. And it's funny you mentioned day traders don't care about the data or the earnings report, and I am on the far side. I don't care at one bit because I day trade and then I invest into my long-term account, and whatever happens, happens. It literally is just noise. I used to want to know everything, but I don't care at all. So yeah, great points all around.
As a trader, I don't care. As a swing trader, I want to know where the money's flowing to specific sectors. But as a day trader, I don't care at all.
I don't like, as bad as it sounds, I don't even care what companies are in NQ half the time because I'm just trading. It doesn't matter. It's just
I'm willing to bet the experts that nonstop trade the NQ can't name 50 of the companies within the NQ.
Probably. But yeah, great answers. Becky, now being a resident psychology coach, I kind of want to hear your insight in this.
Okay, I actually love that Matt went first on this question that you guys did, because I have to say that the counter to that is that he has developed that over time, because I think the ability to let a red day wash over you and come back fresh takes time to develop. That's hard. I think for me at least, and I think for a lot of earlier traders, it takes time to like deal with that emotionally and psychologically to be able to like not hold it, not even let it carry over into your evening as a start. Like you gotta like, and I'm still work in progress with that some days too, because some stop outs are more frustrating. And sometimes I'm like, that's the variance, that's the probabilities that could have happened. It's within my realm of loss, and it's gone before the trade, the stop is even hit. And other days it's more irritating to me. And a lot of that has to do with what I'm bringing to the table on my trading session, particularly. But I do think that is something we have to figure out how to mature to, because I don't think you can become a consistently profitable trader and hold carryover negativity after losses. But I think a lot of people quit trading because they can't shake it. And so there's that period in the middle there where you have to figure out how to shake it. And that looks different for different people. If it's walking your dog, if it's calling a friend, if it's just getting out of your house, if it's a workout session, if it's a cry, whatever it is, you get everyone who makes it in trading. Let it go. Hey, don't try to be a bad friend to my coffee.
If it's a cry.
Hey, you guys would be lying if you said you didn't want to cry after some trading sessions.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you don't have negativity. I'm just saying if you are carrying that emotion into the next day, you shouldn't trade that day.
Yep.
If you're feeling like you can't overcome what you did yesterday, then you haven't done enough soul searching with what you did yesterday to try to figure out how to overcome that. Because oftentimes you didn't do anything wrong. The market was just choppy, or the trade went against you. Mr. Market has, or Mrs. Market. I'm sorry, Becky. It goes both ways. but it plays a large role in the success of you. You only can read the price action, but at the end of the day, you put the trade on, the trading gods are going to take over. And so if you're carrying that emotion from one session to the next, you haven't taken enough time to digest that process, to digest that information. And I can't be, and I just want to be very clear on something. If you're emotional, you shouldn't be active trading. Like, period, end of sentence. You need to go for a walk.
I guess I should stop then.
Okay. Let me rephrase. All of us have emotions, guys. But if it is changing the way you approach the market,
no, absolutely.
Man, that is such a big time mistake. It's just a big time error that you will not be a trader long term if you're emotional in this business.
Yep.
So for anyone who can't read the chat, Matt just said she loves it when I go first so she can correct my answer. But I have to amend that, sir. Because I love when you go first, because then I get to say Matt is the goal and I am the work in progress.
I'm definitely not the goal. I'm not a finished product. No.
I don't think you ever can be.
But I am a cutthroat assassin when it comes to this stuff.
I just think that you show your wisdom, not your years.
There's the old age stuff.
There's again. the one dig in the episode. How to get it in.
Again.
Because you have progressed past this, and other traders are still building through it. We're
take away my offended nature by telling me positive things.
I think you're amazing, and I think that all traders should aspire to let every trading day go and come back fresh like a spring flower and kill it every day with your best session, approach, strategy, mindset, setup.
I don't get emotional about day trading at all. Like at all. Like I could care less.
I'm praising you.
Not. I trade price action. But if you want to see me get hot and bothered, have a swing trade setup go wrong. Like,
God, yeah.
I'll get livid really fast.
Now, I agree with both of you. I think everybody should know the answer is no, it should not affect you. But let me talk to you about when I was a newer trader. It was kind of more the monetary thing than anything. You know, I'd spent time building up an account. I'd have a profit goal every day, which I don't think you should have a profit goal every day. You should just trade whatever the market gives you. But let's arbitrarily call it $400. Okay, now I lost $200. The next day I'm like, shoot, now I got to make $600 or else I'm behind on my schedule. And then guess what I do? I blow the damn account almost every time, because then I'm down 200 on that day and I blow all my rules out and then they're gone. So I think whether it's emotional, whether your football team lost the night before, it shouldn't matter. And especially in futures, because this one I transition from options. If I had one of those days, I'd be on the chart at Globex Open at 6 p.m. trying to make that money back. Now it's just a day.
Can I just jump on that really quickly though? Because when you're emotional like that, it's called tilt. It's been a very well-known disease for every trader and gambler in poker or blackjack or whatever the case is, right? But when you lost the 200 and you have this emotional trigger up here to say, well, now I need to make 600, you're going to do things that are against who you are,
100%.
And you're going to basically lose that 600. That's why
I'm going to size up. I'm going to take bad setups.
Whether you had a $1,000 day yesterday or a negative $200 day yesterday, today's a fresh day, and you need to approach it as a fresh day.
Well, you know what's funny? Now you bring up, I don't care if you had $1,000 day, because if I had $1,000 day, I still want that 400 the next day. So it's such a backwards way of thinking. If you think that way, you should say, now I can chill today because I had such a good day yesterday. So it's funny how you have to make the red days up, but the green days you're like, oh, I don't care. That was just another day.
Like the investor complaining about what am I going to do now after a 5% pullback after their investment went up 150% over the last year. Like, exactly. I don't know if I can hold this 5% pullback. I'm like, you made 150%. What are we talking about?
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, everybody listening, if yesterday is affecting today, take the day off. Do something else. Forget about trading. Come back. The market's not going anywhere. Yeah, take a walk. That's literally the best advice for anything when you're not feeling right. Is go take a walk.
Fresh air movement. Yep.
Anybody have anything to add on that? I think we pretty much covered everything. No?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, sounds good. All right, now this one is good because there are gonna be a lot of. We're all going to have the same answer.
Reversal currently playing out right now, Justin, because it's fantastic right now.
What's happening?
I just want to throw out the gold reversal is playing out pretty good right
now. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Coach Matt knows a thing or two. You should watch the streams. But, okay, so this one, we're all going to agree on it, but I kind of want to hear what we have to say about it. And since Becky loves when Matt goes first, let's let him go first. But the question is,
I love this.
Can you have too many trading rules?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely think you can, especially when you're trying to fix every pothole in the world. So, yeah, I definitely think you can get analysis by paralysis. And especially when times like we were just talking about, we have a bad session. A lot of times we want to micro-analyze that bad session and try to understand what's the problem, what's the flaw, what's this, what did I do wrong? But at the end of the day, I do think it's very easy in day trading to have too many rules, too many things, too many indicators, too many levels, too many lines drawn, too much analysis. I do think that's one of the issues with day traders need to really, truly try to overcome, that other timeframes of traders don't have to deal with nearly as much. One of the benefits, obviously, of day trading is every day is unique. But as such, you can really overwhelm yourself by how many rules that you create over time. And oftentimes you get to the point where either you're over trading, or two, you need the heavens and the earth to align for you to make a trade. And there's got to be a happy medium in there somewhere that we got to find to make sure that, you can execute to your best, most efficient self. But I do think in general that is a issue with day traders, is there's just too much, too many levels, too many indicators, too many rules. I love a clean chart, specifically as a day trader. I love clean charts. In fact, I really don't look at anything outside of the 90 MA and VWAP outside of just my understanding of how price action works and reading the price itself. And so swing traders are going to be very systematic in their rules. Like we're all kind of cookie cutter based. There's not a lot of spice is the variety of life is not for swing traders. It is for day traders. Swing traders are very consistent in the rules and their application of rules. Day traders are a little bit more unique, precious snowflakes that create their unique set of skills. So I do think you got to find a way to, maybe not overwhelm yourself with the amount of rules, the amount of indicators, the amount of analysis, and all of that jazz out there in the market. Not in the NASDAQ case. There's no swings there. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it spot on, hit the nail on the head. And I'll just add to that. Like most newer traders, I had 10 indicators on my chart, and they all had to show me the same thing was going to happen. Now, they don't all do it at the same time. So it was one of those things, like you said, analysis paralysis. Like, when can I actually get into this trade? And then, as I evolved as a trader, like you, clean chart. I have VWAP on there just because I know people will like it. I don't have any indicators.
It's a target for pullbacks, and I use it as a level for pullbacks as well. But I love making decisions on price. Like price, if you understand price, you already know what MACD and RSI. I can look at what's happening in gold's reversal, and I can tell you exactly what RSI and MACD is doing without me looking at it. And so you want to get to the point where you are making your decisions based on price, and everything else on the chart just reassures you, vetoes the trade idea, or gives you secondary confirmation. But you got to make decisions based on price in this business, or you're going to be late.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, like I don't have very many rules. I have your standard rules like mental stop loss, mental take profit, things like that. But as you evolve as a trader, in my opinion, you have your strategy. The only rule should be, is my strategy and my edge present? If so, click the button. If it's not, don't click the button. So, I mean, I call my strategy trading for dummies, and I want nothing to be going on in my brain when I'm trying to take a trade. Is it there? Yes. Boom. Done.
You got a good level with a good open pocket that you can play in. Let's go.
Yep. What about you, Becky? How did your journey and rules and things like that kind of evolve over time?
Oh, I cannot even tell you how many versions I have of Becky's trade plan.
Updating.
3 different journals, 3 different handwritten. There's been a Google Doc that has been modified so many times. I wish I would have kept all of the versions of it. But I do think that this has been something that I've evolved over time as a trader. And when I have put too many rules on myself, which usually comes out of a losing streak or is involved in a losing streak of like, I need to fix this and this and this. And so then I'll fine tune all these things and I'll say, I'm only going to do X, Y, Z. And when all these things line up, and then only with this and only with this size. And what I found is that when I put too many if onlys on top of it, I would tilt. I would be like, I'm going to do it. And then it's going to annoy me. And then I'm going to say F them all. And I'm going to just do whatever my little finger wants to click on. And so for me, it was like too many just created like almost a cage of like, it would work maybe for a minute. And then it would just be so irritating that I couldn't follow it. So that helped me pare it down and be like, this one is not a usual thing. And this one I don't find that often, and sometimes gives false signals, and cut this. And so I improved when I trimmed, and I started figuring out, speaking to a mentor, speaking to my accountability partner, being like, this, I feel like doesn't help me all the time. This one is really good. When you get that confirmation with someone you trust and who trades like you do, you can start to fine tune as well. And so that over time, I have really pared down what I want to see on my charts in terms of indicators. And then as well with my rules, with my trading of certain setups, this is how I go. This is the max size. I will respect my accounts and shut it down at this point each day if I need to. And so just having it pared down has made it almost more loose and available for me to be more patient with it and open to receive whatever presents, instead of like really niching it down until the point I'm frustrated. And that was risky, honestly, when you have too many rules. And so you got to find a balance. And I think just figure out your system and fine tune what is good and what isn't, and recognize that I think when you are building something, you don't just create something and then that's finished product for all time, because in trading, it should absolutely not be that approach. You have to recognize that this is a growing, evolving beast that you're constantly fluxing with, and like realizing what works really good and what is actually a detriment, and you cut it. So if you approach your trading as constantly trying to improve it as you learn and grow, then I think you'll only just get better with time.
Yeah, and can I jump on that very quickly, Justin?
Mhm.
Wonderful point, Becky. All I can do is the only thing I want to add is this. As a swing trader, I have dedicated core rules. It's a system. I follow the system. I don't adjust the system unless market environments tell me to.
Mhm.
As a covered call guy, I have specific rules on the strike prices I'm selling, on the expiration dates I'm working in, and on management. If I sell a covered call for $100 and within the first 2 weeks of the call option net liquidation goes down by 70%, I'm going to buy back the option. I'm going to resell another option 30 days out. These are dedicated rules. I follow them. I just apply them over time. As a day trader, I have much less rules than
Mhm.
every other style of trading, every other style of cash flowing that you can name other than investing. Day trading, to me, it should be as simple and clean to where you are making your decisions based on the natural understanding of price action. And so it's our job to perfect technical analysis. But from a rules perspective, like in a swing trade, if I'm going to take a trade, I'm going to be 5 to 10% of the ATR above the high. I'm going to be 10 to 25% of the ATR underneath my support level. And I'm going to be targeting T1, T2 based on potential average yield, Fibonacci, or extended trend lines. Like those are dedicated. By the way, we're trying to break out of the reversal on gold right now.
Mhm.
But in terms of those rules in day trading, I don't have specific, hey, I got to get 10% of the ATR above the level. I just need to get it above the level. I just need to so it's for me, and I might be different. I don't know. But for me, I actually have less rules as a day trader than I do almost any other style of trading.
Well, I think you have a good point because you want to have rules that are hard and consistent no matter what, that you never argue with, such as position size, max daily loss potentially, and then maybe max number of trades a day. Certain things that really keep you from
Position size
tilting.
risk rules.
Yes,
Vitally important. 100% agree.
yes, and then your setups can flex and grow with you as long as you have some programming around that is successful and you are constantly being vigilant with. I think that's a great point about having hard rules and then having some flexibility at certain areas of it.
Yeah, I was specifically speaking to the execution of the systems.
Mhm.
But Becky, you're right. When it comes to rules, the two most important rules you have as a day trader are position size and risk allocation.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like those have to be ironed out before you ever even put on a trade.
because that makes you professional, not a gambler.
Yep. Yep. And Matt, you said you kind of said it. The day trading rules you have are as loose as possible, and I was kind of saying the same thing. Is my strategy there? Okay, we're gonna play it. And Becky, you said something that's great. Your trading has got more relaxed as you go, and I think that's something where you can tell if somebody's actually a pro or has been trading for a while. Like, okay, we're in. This trade needs a lot of room to breathe, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't stress.
Mhm.
I don't have this arbitrary stop loss I made a rule on. Blah blah blah. You just got to be sized appropriately, and we've seen it. Or like maybe a lot of people have a rule: don't average in. You average in all the time because you want to give your trade room to breathe. You're a little bit more aggressive than I am. You want to get in early, and you have not random spots. You have your spots where you're going to add, letting the play breathe. You're relaxed. I'm sure back in the day, you're like, oh no, it's going against me. Cut. So I just want to point that out. That I think that's a great, and I think it shows maturement as a day trader is just like letting the system play out and not having all these rules. The system's either going to work or it's not. So great answers all around, in my opinion.
Can I answer
I
Mary's
think that's
question in chat?
Yeah, hit that
yeah,
question.
yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, I thought Mary had a great question in chat. So Mary's question is, if you see a double bottom, what is your rule to enter? The ultimate entry will be a break of the lower high, meaning the pivot point, the resistance pivot point within the reversal itself. That's the 409 level. However, I'll be a little bit more aggressive as a day trader. I will not do that as a swing trader, by the way. But I was a little bit more aggressive here when it got back up above the 5-minute 9 EMA. I actually got in above 4,000. And so I think my price I got in was like 3 A's is the price I got, but I only scaled it in, Mary. And so I felt like the double bottom was enough for me to front run that ultimate breakout with the scale in. And if I didn't do that, I would have added above the 409 level. level. And so I would have made that trade above the 409 level with where the pivot point is. Or if it's extended going into the level, I'll wait for the first snapback. But yeah, in a scenario where I have an opinion at the level of 4 and I'm dealing with a fake out scenario where I feel like we have an edge, I'm going to want to maximize my entry a little bit more than waiting on that ultimate confirmation. So once it got back up above the 5-minute 9 EMA, and I felt like we had an edge back up into 409 or the 09 level, I did take a partial there. And I will add to that. Like, I'm not looking to scale out here. I'm looking to add to the position. And I'm tracking this up until about 25, 26. And so ultimately the entry would be above the pivot point within the reversal analysis itself. But I do like to find ways to front run reversals. And in this one, it was a little bit unique because we were dealing with a fake down situation. When it popped back up, I felt like we had the edge to the top of the reversal. And then when we got above the reversal now, it's like, okay, let's see where this first leg goes. Great question. I wish I could give a specific answer on that. But if you want to say the specific answer in any reversal, it's always the previous pivot point of wherever the last pivot point was. And the last pivot point on this chart, even as of right now, was the 09 level.
Yeah, that was a great call out, by the way, man. I love that. So just to recap, guys, we've talked about rules. We've talked about should your days affect you. A lot of great conversations. Matt even called out a trade. So you never know what you're going to get when you watch these podcasts live. You could learn something and get a trade. So it doesn't get much better than that. And guys, we'll be doing the same thing next Monday. If you're here, stick around. Coach Matt and Coach Becky have Power Hour in a few minutes. So we are going to get the heck out of here. Make sure you check out these orbit plans. 1 day to pass. I'm telling you, they are amazing. You're going to love them. But until then, guys, stay profitable.
Hey, Blue Sky. Welcome back to Power Hour on this fine Monday afternoon. You have me and Coach Matt back to see what we can see on the markets and break down this week and plan any trades we see now or moving forward. So, welcome back, Matt. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, Becky. Enjoying the gold reversal. I did get stopped out on that initial scale in.
Okay.
Just tightened it a little too stop, in my opinion. I thought we were going to get a pullback test and so I wanted to tighten it up.
Mm-hmm.
But after the double wick on the next chart, I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it again. like I'm going to do it again. I like the setup again. So got a little fresh trade here on the gold side of the equation. I do want to start a little bit, if you don't mind, just taking a look at the ES contract and the general marketplace, just to kind of look at what we're seeing on the longer term side of the equation. As you can see, weekly chart here, just kind of basing. When you come into the daily chart, nice little ascending triangle situation going into a very important breakout channel. And I said this last week, Becky, this is not real price action to me. The real level is right where the current market is, in my opinion. Good support increases going into that. That is an ascending triangle. And so you're setting in a situation where, and we'll come back down into the 5-minute just to kind of watch this play out a little bit, but you're in a situation where, and it's a very fascinating week. It's a very fascinating moment for the market because we're going into this upcoming earnings season. It starts tomorrow, but the market's primed. Like, we're not overextended going into earnings season. We haven't seen a massive pump in the market going into earnings season. The market has been a consolidation base for the better part over a month. You got a fresh look going into earnings season, and you're in front of catalysts. So we got multiple time frame analysis on the longer term side of the equation, right underneath breakout analysis. Markets waiting on a catalyst to see that breakout, and they are everywhere this week. Whereas last week we dealt with, what did we deal? Levi's earnings and Pepsi's earnings and PMI services number. That's what we dealt with last week.
Yeah.
This week it's CPI, PPI, Warsh's first testimony in front of Congress, the bank's earnings, 4 major companies out of the healthcare space, and catalyst events out of the AI trade out of ASML and Taiwan Semiconductor. It is literally the definition of the 27 Yankees murderers row of data coming into the market this week. And so it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And I look forward to navigating a lot of that conversation with the market itself, and obviously the good people of Blue Sky as well.
That's right. I think that was a great overview of the fact that last week was like kind of obnoxious and back and forth a lot on the daily. And there wasn't really a lot that was causing the breakout. And we had talked then about how it was going to get more interesting as the summer progressed. And now here we are at the start of the week where it's really going to start heating up, starting first thing tomorrow morning, an hour before market open, with the CPI inflationary data. So that'll be an interesting kickstart to some momentum potentially this week, because this slide down today is like a little bit obnoxious. And then the last hour or two, it's just really just completely flatlined in the bottom here on ES and NQ, which is kind of an obnoxious look.
Yeah, I don't have a high quality read of the indexes here today. I came into the day not expecting to do much on the indexes. And honestly, I was not expecting a bloodbath on gold with the dollar pump. Dollar confirmed its pullback, put a lot of pressure on the commodity space here today. The only reason we're talking about gold at 4K in this reversal is because the dollar pricing event earlier today. And so I wasn't expecting to do a whole lot here today, honestly. It's just, I kind of like the reversal brewing in gold, and I've made 2 trades on it now. This is my 3rd. I haven't made a trade on the ES all day, and I really don't think I will today on the ES.
Yeah. I was trying to do this morning, I was trying to scalp this darn market too, because I was like, it doesn't need to be a big day. Often Mondays are choppy, which I think is traditionally actually accurate on the markets. And so this morning, it just looked like it wanted to hold with that bullish pump at open, and then it came down and kept wicking up. So I tried twice for the longs this morning, and it just was so obnoxious. I was like, okay, I gotta move along in my life. Like, when I hit my daily loss and my account's locked, and I was good to walk away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't around for the early session here today, but
it freaked me out long twice.
That's really choppy.
Yeah, you can see there's
That's
two
really
watching
tough.
both things. So on the pullbacks on both, I got long, and then it was like, nope, nope, nope. Okay.
Like it even closed outside orb here.
Yeah.
Here. Came
Yeah.
right back inside. Like it's nasty chop there.
It was obnoxious. But like we said, I mean, those are things that you want to have on your radar of recognizing that this week was a big week and none of it started first thing Monday morning. And so then there is the potential for more like algorithmic obnoxiousness. And less, maybe not necessarily obnoxiousness, but maybe not a high quality setup with a good rationale behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the consistency.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ace, I'm right there with you. I didn't feel we were gonna break out of the daily pattern today. And if we're not gonna break out of the daily pattern because there's no catalyst today, I just felt we were gonna deal with chop. Is kind of I do feel like the real week starts tomorrow morning. Like that's how I personally feel.
Yeah.
Is the week this week specifically? Monday's kind of a nothing burger. The real week starts with the bank's earnings tomorrow.
Okay, so let's talk about the banking sector maybe for a hot second. Is it at a good position? How do we feel about that?
The banking sector has actually done really good in the last month. A lot of projections on the earnings side of the equation are positive. In general, the market is expecting 23% growth this quarter, which will end up being between 29 and 31% most likely on an average quarter, since there's always a low bar expectations on EPS. But from a banking sector perspective, the market's been really good on the banks. Regional banks have been fantastic recently. A lot of the big money center banks have done really good technically. And just to kind of show you a little bit of what the banks are going through right now, technically, you're looking at a scenario going into bank earnings, Becky, where you got a consolidation pattern, a little bit of a flag, a little bit of a base on a really good trend coming into a very, very, very important overhead. And so the overhead you're talking about here on last Friday's candle is very similar to what we dealt with at the first of the year. And so you're dealing with the consolidation pattern going into that. You're a little bit elevated on the weekly but the daily's been a pretty consistent trend going into that situation. So banks want to do it. It's a matter of can they do it? But from an earnings perspective, you really don't need the banks to hit home runs in earnings season. The only thing we need the banks to do is not warn of credit problems in the market, not show us a warning sign of something else in the market that week. And so the banks, I've always given the baseball analogy when it comes to the banks and earnings. The banks are the leadoff hitter. Every earnings season, the banks are the leadoff hitter. And as a baseball guy, you typically don't ask your leadoff hitter to hit home runs. You ask your leadoff hitter to get on base.
Get on base.
That's all the banks need to do. All the banks have to do is beat EPS. They don't provide guidance, so just beat EPS and don't warn of dark clouds on the horizon regarding creditworthiness of American companies and the American consumer. And so if they don't do that, we're going to be going into ASML on Wednesday, which is definitely a catalyst stock. I'd say it's the number 2 catalyst stock this week, next to Thursday morning with Taiwan Semiconductor. But that's the only thing the bank's got to do. If we're not dealing with a lot of volatility tomorrow and we're just dealing with another day that ends in Y, the banks did everything they need to do. Banks need to be boring. They should be boring. I can't believe we try to make banks sexy in America in 2026. Banks should be boring. They shouldn't be aggressive. They shouldn't be catalyst. And so all they got to do is get on base and not dirty up the joint, so that the 3 and the 4 hitter, in continuing my baseball analogy here, the 3 and the 4 hitter can knock them in, and that's ASML and Taiwan Semiconductor this week. Netflix also reports, but it's amazing how little people care about Netflix these days.
Yeah, it's been shifting. I feel like during the pandemic really was very a good time for Netflix, and then it's been kind of wonky since then.
A lot of increase in competition,
Yeah.
and you also have the merger discussion over the last year with Paramount, Discover, Warner Brothers, and Netflix has not done good things for Netflix. It's gotten into the political crosshairs, and whenever a company gets into the political crosshairs, it's not most people in the market's like, I don't like talking about politics in general, and now I have to talk about politics when it comes to the company I want to trade. And so no, it's kind of a forgotten beast right now. Can they wake up and remind the market who Netflix should be? Probably not.
You're right about the competition. I mean, that whole world is constantly shifting. AI is going to be a factor with all of that, and then the fact that there is so many different streaming services, and there's so much that is public now and or pirated or available on other opportunities, and it's actively evolving and not necessarily in the better for Netflix. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what progresses with that company, but not exactly a darling right now.
We just see some escalation, Ace. Is that what happened?
That's always good to pay attention to any kind of news coming out.
Oh, you want to rug the Ponzi going into earnings. I don't know if you can reset the bar. I totally get the mentality, Ace. Let's rug that Ponzi. Let's get it at the lowest price possible to overcome, low bar at earnings. Totally understand. I totally get what you're saying. I cheer it on as well, but I don't know if we're going to be able to reset that earnings bar going into tomorrow.
Hopefully the missile situation right now settles down.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I kind of feel like everybody's saying the same thing. Let's not see escalation here.
Yeah.
Let's try to talk this one. Let's get on the diplomatic freight train again, and maybe not put JD Vance on an airplane. Maybe let's start with that next time, guys. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
Let's fix the flaws.
Into it. Yeah.
I'm still not over it, by the way.
This is a wild world that we live in. Flights are impacting the stock market movement.
Or maybe they just stopped me out, but
to each their own with that storyline.
I'm taking it personal, just to be clear. I do have a plane phobia in general. This is true. Like, it's, as a parent, I think, Becky, you can agree with this. The only real fear you have is kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's a constant fear.
100%.
But outside of fear of your kids, it's like my number one fear is flying. It kills me. I hate it. Drives me nuts.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah. I wish I didn't.
But you work through it. Like it's a fear that you recognize, but you have even said you've taken thousands of flights. And so like it's very uncomfortable and you just have to get through it because
liquid courage helps.
Liquid courage.
I mean, but no, in all reality, in realness here, no fear should stop you from doing the things that you need to do in your life to make your life better, to make your family's life better, your community's life better, the people that you care about better. You can't allow those fears stop you from doing the things that you need to do.
Well, that's just it with trading and with parenting, honestly, because you do, as a parent, are very worried about your children's safety and the other outside influences and what could go wrong with them and how you want to protect them and nurture them and keep them in a little bubble for all their lives. But they will never be a strong, independent human if you do that. And so you, as a parent, you constantly have to swallow your fear and let them try and figure out life and make little mistakes that are contained for safety, but then they have to mess up so they figure out how to grow. The same thing with your trading, right? You have to put on risk. You have to be able to take a hit and like recognize that it's kind of scary and you don't want your accounts to tank, but you have to be able to trade in order to make money as well. So there's a lot of things in life that are really worth it that have fear involved in a lot of aspects of it.
I agree with that 1000%. Oh, slow, methodical. Several events. Yeah, I did see that one, Ace, that there was a couple ships targeted out of the straits, and now they're trying to put a south corridor and a northern corridor, and Iran's going to control the northern corridor, and we're going to control the southern corridor. And yeah, I'll believe any of that when I see it actually transpire and become effective and efficient.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're going to charge on the straits. No, you're going to charge on the straits. No, we're charging. How about we both charge and screw everybody over? Like, what are we doing?
Where's the playground moderator?
Yeah, what are we doing here, guys?
I wonder if this test of the gold breakout is going to hold or not, because it's like really looking kind of weak right now too. But bottom.
I'm obviously not in here. I got stopped out on that latest attempt too at the exact same level. I was just setting up go or don't, but
yeah.
Let's see. I mean, it's still a good looking reversal playing out.
Yeah, the 4,000 is a very interesting level for sure. Obviously, we're seeing some play around there.
Yeah, Ace, and I think it's going to be very interesting if they start digging some trenches there too in the UAE. Let's go dig ourselves another Suez Canal, brother. Pick up a shovel. I'll meet you over there. That's how bad of an idea that is happening in the Straits right now, that it is a better plan for me and Ace just to go get a shovel and start digging sand in the desert. That's
might be more effective as a resolution plan.
Yeah. At least we're working towards an actual resolution.
A plan that couldn't get somewhere.
That should tell you how much confidence I have in that geopolitical situation right now.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be anything interesting with inflationary information this week?
Until the last week of escalation, I would have said this week's inflationary reports would have put us on a potential path to not adjusting interest rates by the end of the year.
Yeah.
With elevated escalation on the geopolitical side of the equation, and now the U.S. and Iran both targeting payment systems for access to the Straits. Like, I just don't know what we're doing over there right now. So I had a much better feel on the inflationary front before the last 5 days. I'll tell you that.
Right. It's kind of frustrating because I guess this is in the state of the market always that these things have been a factor, but even more so now that it's like random little things and who knows if it will end up being anything by tomorrow or if it was just all a bluff or if it was truth or not. But then we get obnoxious price action movement that we can't anticipate as fluidly, and it does add an element of trickiness to trading.
Well, and non-free access to the Straits is not good for anybody either, Ace. Like, you're absolutely right. You know, and one of the things that has happened on the oil market, because I do fundamentally believe that oil has mispriced in some of the risk. But one of the reasons it's done that is in the same time frame that you've had the Straits of Hormuz pretty much shut down. In that same time frame, U.S. energy companies have increased oil exportation by like 400%, like unreal levels. I mean, Becky, energy companies are going to have the highest EPS growth of any sector, including the AI trade this earnings season. And it's not even close. The AI trade, and specifically the semiconductors and the tech space, is supposed to grow this quarter at about 45% EPS growth rate, which is outlandish.
Yeah,
it's outlandish.
Huge. Energy
companies, especially oil and gas exploration and midstream companies, are expected to grow between 122% and 250% EPS growth this quarter. And there's a uniqueness of what's happening right now. And the uniqueness of that is we are mispricing energy. And because the reason we're mispricing in crude oil is the government told the energy companies to open up the floodgates on the supply side in the same time frame that we had demand destruction from an international perspective. And that basically brought oil back down, but that's a short-term thing because energy companies can't produce that much oil long-term. Like, legitimately, they were producing 5 million barrels on top of what they already produce. and you can't sustain that. So governments around the world were tapping into strategic reserves. Energy companies in the US were offsetting the lack of oil supply coming out of the Straits with increase in supply coming out of the United States. If they don't figure out a resolution to the Straits of Hormuz, we're back at $105 to $120 a barrel in oil, and you can't offset it this time with the tricks and the trickerations you did last time. And so when you ask me that question on inflation, you're damn right. I felt a little bit better last week at this time than I did this week, because we can't do what we did last time to stop oil from going up the same way we could next time. And so I'm very concerned about it, honestly.
Yeah. Great rundown, and it'd be very interesting to see what happens, because it influences everyone, whether or not you understand it to the level that Matt does or other people uniquely involved in it do. It definitely is going to influence all aspects of global life. So more to come on that.
Yeah, it's more about what it does to the path of policy. And because now with the escalation that we're seeing with the PPI report, for example, is less important today than it was even yesterday. The CPI report is less important today than it was
yesterday. We'll see. I used to, when I started trading news 3 or 4 years ago, I started studying it and making notes and tracking it and stuff. It reacted differently, and now I feel like it's a totally different ballgame. Like the way to anticipate it, or not anticipate it, or to trade around it or trade through it, it's just very different. It's been actively evolving in the scope of like how it influences our market in real time, and then after the fact and on the bigger picture. So it's been something to evolve with.
Oh yeah.
Everything's sliding down.
Yeah, ES is sliding, but
NQ broke the lows pretty good here. ES is following. Gold is holding.
It's very impressive that gold is holding, honestly. Gold should be going down the same way that the ES contract is going down right now. And you can see it kind of bucking the charge right here.
Damn, here we go.
Oh, Dan. No, I like to get into the proper mood when I get on a plane. I do some weird things.
Do some weird things.
I'm not willing to expand that conversation.
The end. Let your imagination take it where you will.
Let me go watch some worst case scenarios.
Snakes on a plane for sure.
Yeah, Air Force One. Let's watch it.
Not even snakes. Who comes up with snakes on a plane? Like there are some movies that I'm like, what?
The goat, snakes on a plane. That was not a good movie.
Scary.
It's not a good movie.
I don't think I wanted to watch it when I did, and I think I will never forget some.
Oh man, ES is selling. I wish I could have.
We are tanking.
Yeah, it is selling. I wish I would have been a little bit more active now.
Yeah, this bear day is no joke right now.
I honestly anticipated us staying in consolidation range throughout the close, but then again, I was not anticipating a war headline 10 minutes ago either.
You learned calm from your dad. There you go.
Oh, that's fantastic. One of 8. I am one of 7, Dan. And my father, not being a World War II vet, my mother took us to the ER, and she was not calm at all, ever.
Yeah.
Nick, did you just have to beat me and Dan, Nick? Like you just had to one up us? Yeah. Okay.
Had to weigh in on that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, I thought ILS had been, but I'm only one of 4, so that's like basically an only child.
This thing. Let's look at this.
Yeah, when can we? Maybe if it retests this breakout, but honestly, if there's a news catalyst behind this, we might sink until they close here.
You're testing 9 EMA on the daily. I just want to see where. And I see it. What do you think on just waiting on a pullback here, Becky?
I think we need to wait for pull because I think the momentum is going, but I like the pullback to the breakout here of
62.
Yeah.
61, 62. If we get it.
Yeah. Even just 60 is the wick from.
Yeah, I'm with you there, right here.
There's a lot of momentum down, and I think there's catalysts that are fueling this.
So just tick up to 60 and take a cheap risk position.
Yeah.
Play the level.
Yep. We could go risk on the outside of this 5-minute candle if we can get the pullback, but there's a lot of momentum. So if it just wicks us and gets us in, that could be a good look.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I have a hard time chasing that far away from the 9 EMA, but if we can get somewhere around 60, I think that'll be good.
Yeah, on the NQ 450 is the breakout level here. We can get a pullback to there to short. I'm not in yet, Mary. I didn't catch.
Chasing. Exactly. It's no chasing, guys.
They will really, it could be false enough that you chase it at the bottom, then you caught you failed at catching the bottom and it will totally take it back. So I'm definitely pull back.
Ace is going to pick up that yardstick. The big one.
The big one.
Yeah, that's my take too, Ace. Like you're just too far extended away from those 9 EMAs to chase that down here. Just wait for that snapback up here and then, take the low probability cheap risk trade. I call it low probability because you're doing it without confirmation. You're playing the level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in the moment kind of catching the play in real time opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, you missed the break, wait on the retest, and then get in. What's up, Link? Good afternoon. Good to see you, my friend. Dan, alternate days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, no bombings.
It's a good plan.
But we're on a Monday.
Yeah, and they're messing it up.
They're messing up the schedule.
Yeah, it's not great.
See, and I thought it was a Friday night through Saturday night bombing run, and then to talk about ceasefire and trade talks up until the futures open on Sunday. I thought that was the pattern. They messed up that pattern this weekend, though.
Yeah, I was not anticipating this bearish move today. I was expecting a tighter, toppier day, and these bears are like did not play.
To be fair, it is a choppy day, but the bears are taking a little bit more control here. Very important level right there. Those two clean tests against the 9 EMA. Look at that one. I mean, we're at pretty much the same low point as we were on Friday.
Yeah, it could hold. This could be a good set, like we talked about before. Like we need something to bring it down to support, especially if we're coming into potentially some really positive news. So this could be the play down, right?
I agree with what Mary said so much. It's a bleeding day, and it looks like on the daily chart, like the bears just dominated. They kind of dominated in a couple key situations, right? But for the most part, this is a bunch of chop. For the most part, that's a bunch of chop. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the futures market, unforgiving. Big red candle on the downside.
Right.
That's why you don't chase, right, Ace?
Yeah, this bounce back is good. I mean,
yeah, I'm just wondering how to play it here.
if it's going to hold too for the downside momentum, because that was like almost a fake out and then it's popping right back up. So another reason why you don't chase for sure.
Yeah. Markets don't like to extend for the 9 EMA too long. Look at
No,
that.
they don't.
Boom, pop back. Boom, pop back. Like
This
you can
is-
live underneath the 9 EMA for 2-3 candles that far extended, but not that long.
Yeah.
2-3 candle extension. It just likes to come say hello to its friend. That's all it is. It runs away from its friend and it wants to come back and say hello. And that's what's happening here. It's like, I know I left you behind. I'm just saying hello. If you want to jump on the freight train now, you can. I want to slap that 9 though. Let's go.
Yeah, it's coming back up to it. So if it did, that would be kind of right in the mix of that 62, 63. It is rejecting off of that 60 right now.
Yeah, it is. It's not there yet.
All right, what's it gonna do? I think I'm gonna it could slide down farther here on this 3 test.
The pattern development suggests bearish, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Bear break, consolidation, bear 9 EMA catches up. Pattern suggests further downward pressure on price. I just want to strategically play it against the 9 EMA, so I'm going to be patient. I might miss, but I think it does suggest further downward pressure on price here.
Yeah.
390 blank. I hope we're not going to 390 on the ES.
That would be.
Let's
Legit.
it's not going to be another setup today. It might be a setup for this afternoon though. MNQ. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that on the NQ.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's close. Went to 0 right ahead of earnings. That's a trickier target, but Godspeed.
Oh, major pivot at 390. That was right there. I think if you short the NASDAQ, but they're both very similar here. There's nothing in the data right now, Blake, that says that you're not right. Like there's nothing I'm seeing on the chart that would suggest you're not getting your number.
Yeah. Or more, honestly. I think I could see more downside than that, honestly.
There's the major pivot there, and there's a lot of analysis that leads to 390. But I agree with Becky. If this thing wants to dump, it'll slice through that one like hot enough through butter.
Yeah, I mean, we're right there. I think you could easily go down to even 3066 looks good because there's some candle closures around there, and definitely 390 is highly likely.
A little upset that we missed that breakdown.
Do you see?
Marines can cry. They just cry a lot tougher than the average normal human being does there, Dan. When they cry, their cries are made of iron.
$396. Yeah, right above that. I know.
There were 3 times I got so close, but I'm like, nah, it's going to violate rules for you.
The NQ didn't quite get to a limit short. I was hoping it would retest 54. Didn't quite get there. Here's our weakness leaving the body. I heard that too out of a mindset coach of, the things that make you cry. I mean, they were painful when you're experiencing them. They're going to be painful when you release them. Like whatever it is that's caused this emotion is painful, and tears are letting it out. So it's not. I don't think tears are a sign of weakness or a bad thing necessarily. Something.
So when I cry every time Rudy gets a sack, and the team is chanting, or not the team, but the crowd is chanting, Rudy, 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 and tears are flowing, that's weakness.
I mean, it depends on the person.
So when I cry when Mulan saves China in the great Disney film Mulan, is that weakness?
Maybe.
I think you can argue on that one.
There are different reasons to cry. We can argue that.
Mulan saving China. That's a big deal.
She a boss. I love Mulan.
Blake says yes. That's a sign of weakness. Yeah. Yes.
I think it could be.
You shove those tears back in your eyes, young lad.
Take a deep breath. Get back on the horse.
If I ever get into outer space and I'm hanging out with the astronauts, I'm gonna cry, guys. That counts too.
Yeah, well, that is a big deal.
If you're uncovered in semis, you can cry. This is accurate.
Okay, it doesn't have to be sadness. Big emotions having an outlet. That is the better way to term it. Now that you're giving me all kind of examples right now. Great point. Here we go for the next leg down. We'll see.
What about marriages, Nick? Can you cry for your best friend? Because when my daughter gets married in 45 years from now, can I cry then? Not when my son gets married, but when my daughter gets married.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we quantified. It's big emotions.
I'm going to cry. It's going to happen.
You can cry.
Hopefully 10 years from now for my oldest daughter and 45 years for my youngest daughter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Oh, I got my youngest trained. She's 17 and she's like, no, Dad, I get it. I can get my life in order, get my career, start becoming that independent. And then maybe I'll entertain. In 45 years, she'll be 63, 62. I think she'll be ready.
Godspeed.
Yeah, I'm also going to have very little say in how all of this goes down.
I mean, you can wish in one hand and the outcome
exactly
won't happen.
Exactly.
I think the core message of pursue your own dreams and build a career that you love and surround yourself with good people first is the predominant message.
That's the message I try to put out there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Reno, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Right. Hey,
staring at price, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life.
No, she's
I missed the shorts. I went 2 for 3 on gold, and I missed the short here, Reno.
I know. Now it's retesting, but it's like the momentum down is wonky here.
I just haven't loved it enough to do anything yet.
This pump here is happening. Oh, thanks for coming and hanging, Reno.
I'm going to go do some yard work after this.
Beautiful day. July is the best. Such a good month.
I'm fresh. It ain't scary for me, Ace. But I if I wasn't fresh, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, this pump is a lie. I don't trust it either, but it has a lot of momentum on it. It's getting really close to the breakout here, and if it pushes through it, then I would be less trustworthy of the short here. Talk to me bearish. Well, we're coming back to that 9 EMA and that breakout level, so we'll see. We'll see if it wakes off of it. That would be the test. I mean, the aggressive entry would be a limit order short at the 9 EMA at the 60 level.
It'd be at the 60 level, like right now. Like you can do it right now.
You would have to, and you would want it to like just tap your order and then start wicking short right away. Would be a sign that this could work. But if it pumps through it, you're gonna want to watch the risk on that.
That's right. We're looking at a 1 minute, team. This is how much I trust the price action right now.
You know what? That's where we're at. Literally 60 minutes of the day left.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the 1 minute to look at the kind of how it handles the 9 EMA. That's I'm not triggering off this. It's just where the 9 EMA is. So I want to see how the price action works there.
Yeah. Drilling in.
Definitely bearish though.
It's pumping hard back inward though, and if that news is not going to hold, if we close inside of this, I don't like it as much.
If you close on top of the 9, I don't know. I mean, you can test above the 9, but if you test above the 9, that's one thing. But if you test and then close above the 9, that's a change on that time frame. That is the official ending of whatever momentum you think you did have. And so those are momentum shifts for me. And when I anchor on the 9, I just don't trust him.
Well, the 5 minute just closed right at it, and it's holding up right
now. By the way, this
so
is exactly what happened on gold when I took that first trade on gold. Closed above the 9, went long above that high.
Yeah.
Only got 6 points on that, maybe 7. But 6-7 points on GC isn't that bad.
No.
I just think it's too choppy for me at this point.
Yeah. If you tried the short, it would have to be now with the tight stop.
That'd be now. Like now with stop above the, like how you would play it. I'll just do it here, but how you would play it is enter underneath low. Let me get that target down there. Boom. You're just playing that range right there. And stop right above that wick. Then you're playing it down to the low. I'm ready for a bull breakout, Ace. Like I am definitely, however we talk about day trading, like on the longer term charts, like as a bull, I'm ready for a bull breakout. I am. No doubt about that. We have consolidated for a month. We haven't had any like true momentum and direction in over a month now.
Yeah. Been kind of obnoxious.
Been very obnoxious. Then again, that recent trend that created the overextended condition was not obnoxious. It was good.
It was beautiful.
It was really good.
Yeah, strong.
In fact, I've tried not to complain about the lack of quality of AI trade in the last month because the previous leg was so beautiful.
It was.
But now it's time. You've had plenty of time to consolidate and think about your life.
Let's go again.
Now it's time to do it again.
Yeah. All right, we'll see if this short off of this retest holds. See if it's got the momentum or not. And bounces are in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that, Blank. It is frustrating on almost every time frame except for like cash flow traders. Cash flow traders, that's like their pig pen, you know what I mean? But for every directional trader, sideways neutrality can be very frustrating. But the size of the base equals the space. It's frustrating inside that pattern. 1000% agree with you. As we come out of those patterns, typically momentum wants to rip somebody's face off because every one of us are so tired of seeing the same price. Like, let's go. Thing about consolidation, it can bore you to sleep. And if it does, you have a tendency to miss out on that next move.
I wonder what these imbalances are going to tell us. It's been a short day all day, has been the predominant direction. So a continuation would be to the downside, but also this day doesn't have much of a wick on it because we're pretty low. So interesting. Interesting opportunity here.
Yeah, I agree with that, Blank. The longer that consolidation, the more momentum you're going to get on the break. True. Both sides too. Both sides. It's an equal opportunity discussion when it comes to the Bulls and the Bears. I was talking about it. Time in reversal, for example, is a very important thing for me because the longer the time frame goes, the less you're going to have to fight on the opposite side of the equation. This thing wants to go back up, going into imbalances, but we have imbalances very soon.
Yeah, it's not tanking it get a little move off of that, but it's not just falling here.
No, Nasdaq's already above, trying to track even higher.
Yeah, we see a lot of pulling back up at the end, going back against the day's trend. That's 5 minutes, all that matter. There it is. There it is.
And there's imbalances, not a lot of volatility, but up, being resolved up so far.
And they're pushing up. Where might they go? On ES, there's a interesting point at 72.
Oh yeah, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
But then again, I was done when I came into today.
We're just seeing what's up.
Nickeling and diming today in the market.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah, gold really went sideways here at this level. It's like, oh, everyone's watching me. I don't know. I might perform later. So cute.
Oh, don't do that one, Blake.
Come on.
Don't do that one. You know, the crazy thing is that's funny, Justin. I used to I don't love trading on Fridays, especially swing trading. Like I don't like holding over a 2-day weekend in the current environment. But I think you can generally say that about me. But typically I like Mondays. I haven't liked Mondays recently.
I feel like there's a rhythm to them, and if you can catch it, it can be a really good day. But there has also been some days where they just F with traders. And it's not the market is not doing it, but necessarily it's just kind of little things will cause it to be kind of a chaotic day. It's not generally as trending as some other days. And I think it gets a bad rap, but not really without earning it.
Blank, are we talking fries and Coke too? Or are we just talking like 2 Big Macs for $5 on a Tuesday? Like, are we doing the meal deal or are we doing do I get fries? Do I get a Coke?
Full offer.
Like, yeah, if we're not doing a meal,
involved.
What are we talking about?
Mm.
Got to have a Coke to wash that Big Mac down.
You guys tweeting the deal. We all know we need caffeine around here. Come on.
All right, no fries and apple pie, but definitely the Coke. Okay.
This is pumping here. I don't think we have enough time to get all the way to VWAP because that is not the day we're having. But, ES might be able to get up to 72-ish. These wicks up here, the consolidation.
It's just crazy. It's crazy price.
Second window. Consolidate Asian UK. Yeah. Be an interesting morning with CPI first thing in the morning tomorrow. Could get some good movement potentially. Let's see what it says.
Yeah, Blank, that's me too. There's just no consistency and follow through to things. Like I loved that gold reversal off 4K, and I even front ran it. And the very second it got on top of the breakout channel, it's like, nope. We're shying away here. Today, ES, nice little breakdown, consolidation, another breakdown. Nope. Let's come right back into range. It's really hard for the market to trend here. And I know the daily chart looks like a big red candle, right? But it's like chop for 90% of the time, rip your face off. Chop for 90% of the time, rip your face off. Those are really, really tough trading environments, I would say.
I agree. Better days will come ahead. That's, protect yourself, protect what you're building, and live to trade better conditions sometimes.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I am as well. We're about out of time. We got 6 minutes left.
Account giveaways, gains. Not today. Too choppy in the market. I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm not in a bad mood. But I do believe we said we'd be doing giveaways once we get to 50 people in the stream. So tell 27 members that you know, and we'll start doing giveaways.
Yeah, come hang, right?
If everybody here tells 2 people tomorrow, we'll do a giveaway.
Bring your friends. Yeah. And then we'll get some better movements, build those accounts. It's a good time to be a trader. It's a beautiful life that we get to live as traders. And, there's going to be some variance within that, but they can't have all the reward without the risk and little days that make us grateful for the beautiful days.
Does that count, Blank? Of course that counts. You can tell anybody you want. You just got to tell 2 people that are not here, can be here. You can't tell Ace and Mary.
Yeah.
Can't tell those 2. Jesus. Yes, we do. Mike starts us off in the morning with morning session. Justin hangs out after that. And then Becky and Matt hang out in Power Hour every day. Becky does a wonderful psychology lab every Tuesday. And I do a technical lab on Thursdays. But we stream multiple hours every day.
Yep, that extra content is at 2 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. We've got podcast on Monday, psychology lab Tuesday, technical lab on Thursday, and then I stream an extra hour on Wednesdays to have the last 2 hours of market conditions streamed. So, yeah, we open the morning with you guys, and we close out the trading day with you guys, and we're here for questions at any point. Whoever's on, please fire away questions. Discord, you can put questions off hours.
If you haven't subscribe to the channel and you want to get notified when we go live, make sure you're subscribing to the BluSky YouTube channel.
Thank you, Ace, for imbalances.
I loved the Psych Lab. Absolutely love it.
Oh, thanks, you guys. Tomorrow, I cannot wait because there was a time back in March, I don't know if you guys remember, I brought on a guest mindset coach, and it was really kind of fun to have another coach kick it back and forth and pick their brains live with you guys. So tomorrow, I actually have another guest episode where I am bringing on an expert in neuroplasticity and mindset and self-talk and goals. And so she is going to be live with me tomorrow. We're just going to have a conversation, open fluid, take questions. So this one, you guys would definitely want to attend live. It's going to be really fun. Oh, you guys, thank you.
Team, at the end of the day, I can make this really, really, really simple. The daily chart was choppy, but down throughout the session because it just wanted to test the 9 EMA before going into earnings, and I totally understand it. But we haven't seen a break of the daily or the weekly structure yet, just a bunch of chop on the intraday side of the equation. We do have earnings season starting tomorrow morning, team, with the banks reporting earnings, ASML on Wednesday, Taiwan Semiconductor on Thursday, CPI report tomorrow morning, PPI reporting, and Kevin Warsh testifying on Wednesday morning. Lots of data coming into the week, and looking forward to hanging out with the Blue Sky team for Power Hour and breaking it all down throughout the entire week. And with that said, Becky, you got some final thoughts for the team as we conclude another Power Hour here today?
Just thanks for being with us. I think it's a really good vibe, and I enjoy learning with everyone live today. And Psychology Lab tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern live. Otherwise, you heard about our streaming schedule. Come hang out with us. It's really fun. And I wish everyone just has some time off the charts after trading to decompress and let anything go that is carrying over, because each day is a new day with fresh opportunities. So have a great night, everyone. Thanks for being here with the Blue Sky.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.